Anyway, gaming. You know what? Now that you mention it, I do have a kind of like an opinion with it. I hate all modern games. Yeah, I I fucking hate modern games. But I need to explain why I say that. I don't like the fact that companies are trying to please that one Reddit guy that he just goes to play each different game and it's just like, look at this, bro. I can touch the grass and the grass moves. Isn't that fucking insane? And like, there's like a certain amount of people that has been looking for those kind of interactions in video games recently, and game companies have been dreading to please those people. Well, I don't know if dreading is like the actual word that I should use, but like the companies nowadays, games companies are really trying to just please those kind of like players now. Because like it's like, I don't know, like if it's some investors bullshit, I don't know what it is, but I just don't like the fact that games are trying so hard to look closer to reality. And I can excuse a few games if they are, for example, kind of like Cyberpunk, because Cyberpunk, like it or not, it's yeah, it's very an amazing game. It's very nice looking with path tracing and all that stuff, but it might be just me, but I really don't want to play something that resembles reality so much, because games at the end of the day are an entertainment. Games are meant to be an entertainment. Some people use it as escapism from getting stressed so much in life, and at least to me, like it's not. I'm also not saying that I want to just play pixel games, right? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I want to just play kind of like pixel dot games. I don't want that, but I don't want to play games that are seeking to be a mirror reflection of real life. I don't want that. I really don't want that. For example, now my best example to like enjoy a nice game is, for example, this one I'm playing right now, Final Fantasy Online. It's an MMO, yeah, membership, whatever. Brush all that off the table for now. The game looks good, even for how old the game is and all the updates that it has gotten into the engine and all that stuff. The game looks nice, and guess what? It also looks like a game. It also looks like a game. It doesn't reflect like this feeling on like trying to be, how I said this, it's not trying to be like a mirror reflection of reality, as I said before, and that's what I've been disliking of video games recently. The only games that I can excuse being somewhat super fucking realistic, it's very much racing games, because cars are, at the end of the day, you can come up with like crazy ideas for cars, for racing games and stuff. Yeah, that's fun. But also I get that people wants to play something more arcade, and they want to have that feeling of like kind of like Fast and Furious or Need for Speed, yeah. And you, at the end of the day, for those games and adding like actual brand cars, like actual real cars for that, you could definitely just make up cars in the fly, kind of like how Rockstar does for a few cars. But even then, they actually use real cars as reference. I don't know where I'm going. Even then, they use real cars as reference. Yeah, I hate modern games and their little ink with trying to be as realistic as possible. I feel like if you really want to play something so realistic, like if you really want to play something absurdly realistic, like, oh my god, I can feel the water on my skin when I get into the water in the game, right? That kind of stuff, something like that. I mean, that's kind of like a silly example, but if you really are seeking to play such games, and you might as well just go into the area and support, by all means, people that wants to develop games for VR, for example, because that's the closest you're gonna get to a simulated reality. But as for normal games like console games and also PC games now, I really don't want them to look so realistic. The other type of games that I can definitely excuse to some degree being more realistic, it's the games that are based from movies or characters from comics that already have like real life movies. Like the biggest example that I can give, it's pretty much Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man, like Marvel Spider-Man. That game is based from a character that's not only in the comics, but it's also really brought like up in a few movies in real life. And that's nice because that's kind of like for everybody. Yeah, it looks as realistic as it can get, but also still looks like a game. At the end of the day, what I want to say is that I would prefer if games just don't lose that touch of like if you want to play a game and you want to feel like you're playing a game, it might as well be something that looks like a game. It doesn't have to look realistic. As long as it looks entertaining for you, if it's the type of aesthetic you want, you're gonna enjoy it. Now, by all means, if you enjoy realistic games or simulator type games, you can play them. I'm not saying you don't have to. I'm just a random person that's giving an opinion on something, so it's whatever. I just don't like realistic games. I don't. it makes me feel weird. Like if I wanted to play a game that looks so realistic when I'm like, I don't know, jumping a hill, I might as well just go and do that in real life and have like an actual better experience. Even I'll never understand that logic of game companies wanting to do something so realistic unless it's for something like, again, games that are based on movies, or even games that try to show a representation of reality, kind of like being, I don't know, like a criticism or something. Cyberpunk kind of did that. There can be like a few things on where I can excuse a game being super realistic, but it's just not for me.